What is going on, everyone? It's time to do a list about the Aloha State, Hawaii. Most people consider Hawaii the best place to live in the United States. You got sun, sand, and pineapple. How could it be anything but perfect? In a lot of ways, Hawaii is paradise. And in other ways, it kind of sucks. And that's the focus of today's video, the things about living in Hawaii that suck. If you've ever considered or are considering it right now, there's some things you should probably know. So before you stow away on a cargo ship, you should probably watch my top 10 reasons not to move to Hawaii. Number 10. Public schools. Hawaii's public school system usually sits around the bottom of most national rankings, and they have one of the largest percentages of private schools in the nation. And that's because parents don't want to send people they care about to the Hawaiian public school system. It's actually really bad. Number 9. Traffic. Hawaii's traffic is the nation's worst. Hands down. Commutes that should take around 20 minutes turn into 2-hour anger control tests during rush hour. On some parts of Oahu, people have to get up at 5 a.m. just to get to work by 8 a.m. Now, they have many problems in the traffic realm, but one set of stats is pretty bad and is probably one of the major reasons for their traffic problems. Only 12% of the people carpool. Only 14% of them bus, bike, or walk. And that means 74% of the people drive to work alone. I think I found your problem. Number 8. You'll always be an outsider. It doesn't matter how long you've been there, how well you've integrated into Hawaiian culture, or how many Hawaiian shirts you own. You will always be a mainlander. And if you're Haole or Caucasian, even more so.
Eating spam out the can. I'm a howling man from the mainland.
Forget trying to act like a native Hawaiian. People will call you out on it, Whitey. Number 7. Spam. So for people who don't know, spam is not just an internet term. Spam is actually a salty lunch meat in a can that doesn't require refrigeration and has a long shelf life. Sounds healthy, right? Millions of cans were shipped to the islands for the US military during World War II. The Hawaiians got a hold of it and they loved it. And it's been a staple of their diet ever since. You can actually find it in their sushi nowadays. If you've never eaten spam, think of ground up salty ham pressed into a can and covered by some strange gooey fat substance. Who's hungry? Number 6. It's hard to get to. You can't drive, hike, or hang glide to Hawaii. It's in the middle of the ocean. You have two options: fly or get on a ship. Neither are inexpensive. In 2018, it's about $500 or $600 round trip to San Francisco. And for some strange reason, flying to Los Angeles is almost double that. And it's closer. I don't understand it. And before anyone pipes up with some comment about how they can get them cheaper, good for you. I'm glad you've learned how to work the system or whatever. Most of us don't like to get on flights at 3 a.m. and have to sit next to someone holding a chicken in a cage. Stop typing. Side note, I did this once. I took some late night flight out of Los Angeles to Portland, Oregon. Big mistake. From what I surmise, I was the only non-mental patient or farmhand on the flight. The guy next to me asked me why I was all dressed up. I was wearing a polo shirt from Gap and Levi's. I guess the fact I showered within the last 24 hours really blew him away too. It's kind of the feeling I got. Number 5. It's a volcano. Actually, it's more than one. Currently, they have 3 active volcanoes, 2 on land and one that's offshore a little bit, creating like another island. And that one will be ready for a new resort in like 12 to 15,000 years. So book early if you're looking to get a good room. Now, if you've watched the news the last month or so, you've seen that one of the volcanoes has got a little more active than they like. They've had some lava flows going through housing areas, and it's been kind of bad. Now, I have a friend that lives there also. He said it sucks. People have lost their homes, but it's really not as big a deal as the news is making it look these days. He said everyone's going to be fine. They see it coming. It's not as big a deal. Number 4. Tourists. Tourists are everywhere in Hawaii, and the locals hate them. Most know if it wasn't for the tourists, half their families would probably be out of work, so they tolerate them. Some don't. You'll be able to identify them while on guided tours or tour buses. They'll be the ones holding up middle fingers. Keep in mind that finger display is not telling you you're number one. Now, when you move to Hawaii, be prepared to be mistaken for a tourist for quite some time, till you kind of really get into living there and understand things. Number 3, housing. Now this one's a gimme. Everyone knows real estate costs a fortune in Hawaii. In 2017, the median home price of a single-family home in Oahu was $712,000, and for a condo it was $415,000. Now, keep in mind, before you leave some comment, that this is the average price. Whenever I give a median home price, someone always has to leave a comment like, "Your numbers are wrong. I paid $800,000 for my house." When I read those, I just want to go to the person's house and say, I didn't make the video about your house. I'm talking about averages. Give me your keyboard. Give me that keyboard. You're not mature enough to have this. Anyway, I guess you gotta pay to stay in paradise. Number 2, low-paying jobs. Because everyone wants to live in Hawaii, they're willing to work for less. Some industries, maybe not as much as others, but it's something you should keep in mind. Expect in the neighborhood of a 20% pay cut or more from what you're making in the mainland. Now, a lot of people might say, why is this number 2? It's not that big of a deal. Well, it is. But this is number 2 because of number 1. And number 1. The cost of living. The middle class in Hawaii lives at what the mainland would consider poverty levels. Put it simply, in Hawaii as of 2017, you need to earn about $120,000 a year to live like you make $65,000 on the mainland. So it's almost half. That's how bad it is there. You know what? Paradise ain't cheap, folks. If you want to eat pineapple on a beach and play a ukulele, it's gonna cost you. One more piece of advice, don't pick up any idols that look like this on the beach. You end up hurting yourself at a surfing competition, and your housekeeper might throw out a hip, and next thing you know, you're wandering off into the Hawaiian outback trying to get rid of this idol in some weird cave. Alright, so that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed the top 10 reasons not to move to Hawaii. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment. Hey, when it comes to Hawaii, if you know anything about their history, the locals, the native people of Hawaii, they do have a bone to pick with us, the United States in general. We overthrew their government and took over their land and made them a state. The people that were there, they didn't want that to happen at the time, It's many years ago, over 100 years ago, but still, they got a bone to pick. So don't blame them if they're a little angry sometimes. Anyway, everybody have a great day. Sorry this video wasn't as upbeat as it normally am. Like I said in my last video, I had jaw surgery, so I'm not up to par yet, but I wanted to get a video out. Everybody have a great day. Don't forget the links below. Be nice to each other, everyone.